Guys, look, today I want to talk about how to overcome massive heartbreak. And I want to start by explaining the three F's. All right, what are the three F's? Frustration, fatigue, and failure. All right, frustration is when we don't get the things that we expect, and it just seems to not work out the way that we wanted it to. Fatigue is when we push ourselves past our limits and we just can't handle it anymore. And failure is when we attempt to do something and the outcome did not come the way we expected it. The results did not deliver in the way that we thought it would arrive. So, how do you overcome heartbreak? How do you overcome the difficulties in life, right? You're trying to move up one step, and then suddenly you got to take two steps back, right? It happens to every single person in this world. But that's the key. It happens to all of us, but it's how we handle it, how we respond. We also have to think, is it really that, right? Are we, when we take one step front, are we really taking two steps back? Or is that an illusion that the opposing force wants us to believe to get us to react negatively so that we can lose control over our emotions? And this is where a lot of people get caught up, right? If they're tired, they don't want to give their family or friends or spouse or children the attention that they need. If they're frustrated, they don't want to give their best effort because things didn't work out in the same day that they're living. It's not what they thought was going to happen. And if they have failures in a day or a week or a month or a year or in their life, they accept that they don't have what it takes to press on and keep doing what they know they need to do to succeed. And a lot of times, especially with failure, people are like, well, I try to go to school and I try to work this job and I try to save money, but none of it worked. I tried to date, I tried marriage, I tried to talk to my kids nicely, but everything backfires, right? Everything backfires because God is teaching you to use a different strategy than what you have before. It's not because of one failure you should quit. In fact, the failure should teach you either to let go of that goal because it's not right, so yeah, you should quit because it's not a right goal, or if it is a right goal, make an adjustment so that you can know how to approach it better. And that's where a lot of people are not willing to make the changes, right? They say they want success, but they're not willing to do the work in order to obtain it. And so I want to warn you that when you do face frustration, when you do face fatigue, when you do face failures, you got to bounce back. You got to ask God, is this really the goal that you want me to pursue? And if it is, send me some signs of your approval to confirm that. And when He makes it increasingly obvious, He's going to send you those resources. He's going to send you ideas. He's going to send you inspiration. He's going to send you love. He's going to send you people. He's going to send you money. He's going to send you all kinds of validation to prove to you that His promises are still true. And so it's up to you to do the work, right? Okay. Now, let's say you do the work and then you're at a standstill. All right, this happens all the time. Every single person who achieves success and or failure has to face a standstill, right? A lot of times people do all the work and then they don't know what to do next. And then they panic and then they fall into sin and they backtrack. In fact, a lot of people who have so much potential, they work a job that's way lesser than what they're capable of, mainly because they're living in sin. And so God is like, okay, since you're here and you've been frustrated, I'm going to keep you frustrated because you don't know how to combat this by doing the things that I've assigned you to, and you continually fail to deliver the results that I'm asking you to. So they get held back and they fall into more sin. They watch more porn. They go gambling even more. They watch more violence. They curse. They lie. They cheat. They steal, they use drugs, they sabotage, they they do harm to others. And so what happens is that their efforts are stymied, right? They're prevented from reaching that next level because they don't listen to God. And so they're consigned to an inferior position because they haven't understood what it is that he's been repeatedly trying to teach them. Now, what's the opposite of disobedience? It's obedience, right? So think about this, right? If you keep doing the right thing over and over again, even if you face obstacles, you are going to learn how to overcome those obstacles, and then you will. Okay? The difficult people, the difficult circumstances, the difficult situations that you didn't ask for, um, that came out of nowhere, right? You're just doing the right thing, and then boom, someone steals, someone lies on you, someone accuses you, someone slanders you, someone tries to defame you, someone tries to withhold from you, someone tries to cheat you or defeat you. And you're like, God, I've been doing everything right. He's like, hold on, son. Hold on, daughter. I got to teach you a lesson. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. He's showing you, look, because you've obeyed my path, you got to face some persecution. But persecution leads to his promise. Persecution leads to his power. Persecution leads to his purpose. And remember, your purpose is greater than you. So whenever you're persecuted, there's nothing you can do. All right, you're just there reacting, basically. There's no way you can be proactive because you're stuck in God's hand. He's in complete control of your life. And you've already rendered all of your faith, and you said, God, here's where I am right now. I'm fatigued. I'm frustrated. I have felt some failures in different areas of my life, right? The enemy wants you to think that you're a bigger failure than you are every time. He wants you to think that there's no bounce back season, that there's no way that you'll ever succeed. But then you talk to God, and you say, God, I'm so frustrated. I'm so fatigued. I'm so tired. I've tried so hard. I haven't gotten anywhere, or I've gotten to some places, but I haven't gotten to where I know I deserve to be. And that's when he says, hold up. What about this? What about that? And then he shows you to count your blessings. And this is where the wisdom comes. All right, gratitude. You thank God for what you have. And what does he do? He sends you more. This is called increase, right? The law of increase comes whenever you get to that standstill where you've done everything you can in your power, in your control. Then there's the waiting period. Then he consults with you. And then he says, what have you done? Where are you right now? What do you have to do next? And then he gives you those answers. Then he says, you've got one more thing to do. Thank me, praise me, glorify me, honor me, revere me. Take a break, take a moment to get within yourself, within your mind, within your body, within your soul, and give me the gratitude. What does he do after that? Boom, the blessings come. Do they come all at once? Do they come in the way that you expect? Right? People just want that $1 million check. People just want their wife or husband to show up. Or if they're already married, they want them to be happy. Or they want their kids to just be like smiling all the time no matter what and completely respecting them. Or they want a big promotion or big fame, big success. They just want it to happen now. They just want to travel. They just want to lose weight. They just want to be healthy. They just want it now. Because that's how we are as humans, right? We want instant gratification. And we think, okay, God, if you're real, prove it to us now. Prove it to us today. But he says, hold on. I can do that for you. I can do it like this, right? It's easy for him. But he's like, before I do that, though, I want you to realize who I am. Not only do I want you to praise me, but I want you to count the cost. I want you to think about the talents that you have. I want you to start using them. I want you to use your gifts. I want you to call some people. I want you to do some things. I want you to take some action. I want you to hear my voice. And then little by little, he adds onto you. Okay? Right? Luke 12:31 says, if you put the kingdom of heaven first, all things will be added unto you. And then one day you experience a miracle. It could be a small miracle, a big miracle, miracle after miracle after miracle. Your whole life becomes a miracle. You keep doing it over and over again, and success begets success. Right? One thing leads to another. You do one great thing, and it becomes even more. Right? You're frustrated one day, and then frustration turns into happiness, turns into joy. Right? It turns into epiphany. Like, wow, I was so frustrated yesterday or this whole week. But I know, like, if I deal with 5 or 7 days of frustration, eventually on day 6, day 8, day 10, day 15, at some point, my adversity will turn into opportunity, right? My oppression will turn into power, will turn into success. And that's how it works, right? So you might even be tired and you're like, God, I can't pick up the phone. I can't call anyone. I can't even journal. I can't even play video games. I don't even know how to sleep. You can't even do the most basic things, right? I don't even want to take a shower. I just want to sit in my car. I just want to sit on my phone, right? How many times have we been in this situation? Well, I can't move forward, right? You're just stuck because you have all these conflicts and all these thoughts and all these ideas, all these emotions, all these feelings and questions. And sometimes it's doubt, sometimes it's skepticism, sometimes it's thoughts of the future. Your imagination's just going wild. There's a lot of reasons why people get stuck. It's not only bad, but sometimes it's good. But you can still be fatigued. And then you sit there and you're like, okay, God, what do you do? And he just tells you rest. Rest. Just take a day off. Take a half day. Take 2 days. Everyone is different. Some people need a week. Some people just need a couple days. Some people need a couple hours for a moment. And then boom, changed, right? Fatigue, they're not completely refreshed every time, but they're more refreshed than they were on Tuesday. Now it's Thursday. They're more relaxed. Like, oh man, on Tuesday I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of fear, but now I feel so much better, right? That's exactly how it works, right? And then failure. When failure happens, right? Because we're talking about the triple F's: frustration, fatigue, and failure. You got to say, okay, God, what are you doing in my life right now? Why did I face this roadblock? I thought you said I was going to pass the test. I thought you said she was going to say yes. I thought you promised me this promotion. I thought you were going to do this for me. I thought we were going to hit this deadline. What happened? He's like, son, daughter, it's not failure. It's teaching. He's like, just because it didn't come out the way you thought it would, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It doesn't mean I'm not going to alter your plans. It doesn't mean I'm going to shape shift you into what you need to be. And I'm not going to make it work. Of course he's going to make it work, right? When it's all said and done, everything is going to work out. And when it's really all said and done, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. And so there is no failure in the kingdom. There is no fatigue in the kingdom. There's no frustration in the kingdom. Frustration, fatigue, and failure are just human reactions. Okay? Your body feels tired. Your body feels disappointed. Your mind feels that it didn't receive or achieve the things that it thought it would. But what if God had that plan? What if he had it all planned out for you? All right? What if your loss was actually a win? How many times did I lose a game, or I lost something, a possession or a person, and it actually turned out into a win, right? Or I learned something, or I get to watch the other team and take in that wisdom. Wow, they needed that win more than I did. Okay, I see why. And then you can bless them, right? We want to win all the time. And we actually do if we put Jesus Christ first. But humanistically, it might not seem like we won. A lot of there's national championships or country championships in the Olympics and world sports, and it's win loss. One team wins, one team loses. But that loss could be your greatest win, and even though other people might not see it that way, it could be the greatest thing that ever happened, and you can come back stronger. You can win the next year. Some people never win, but they still have more faith because they knew that if they won, then something could have happened, or they would have been too popular, and God was like, no, no, no. You already have achieved your success. You got to stay here, man. This is where you belong, woman. And some people want to get into Ivy League schools and they're like, that's their win. And then all of a sudden they're not in there and they think they lost. Or they wanted to marry that one girl, that one guy, and because they didn't get it, they thought they lost. But what if that was the greatest gain? What if that situation wasn't what they needed? What if God was preparing them for more success because of what happened and that circumstance dictated who he wanted them to be? Right? So that is how we have to think. That is how we have to process thoughts. That is how we have to pray. That is how we have to believe. That is how we have to receive. And when we do, we will achieve. Anyways, this is Daniel Alley. We just talked about how to overcome heartbreak when it comes to the triple F: fatigue, frustration, and failure. And when you understand this message, it's going to resonate, right? You're going to hear me. And there's somebody here that needs this. That's why I'm speaking to you. So if you need my help, reach out to me at info@danielally.com. I can help you personally, in business, in your career, in any way. Because I am Daniel Alley. Daniel like the lion's den, Alley like your best friend. And I'm here for you. We don't take the main street, we take the alleyway. We're going to keep on doing big things. I appreciate you guys. Always trust the Lord Jesus Christ with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. And remember, he's going to help you achieve his biggest goals. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.